Greetings, programs, and happy Catterday, the 6th of November. I had started putting together a different rant, but then I saw the bizarre and disturbing press briefing that Nancy Pelosi recently gave and decided I had to do this one first. I say disturbing because what else can I call it when someone in our government, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, a person very near the top of this nation's power structure, keeps vapor-locking, slurring her words, and uttering complete gibberish in broken sentences. Disturbing is probably an understatement, frankly. Okay, to kick things off, this first clip is when the presser had just begun, and already Nancy's just spewing words that are merely fluff and nonsense.
Good morning. Thank you for your patience. We're just finishing our House Democratic Whip meeting. That's, for the others out there, really part of our caucus where we heard from our magnificent chairman, had a Q&A with our members, with each chair, about the specifics in the legislation as amended from what they have seen since last week. It was very inspiring and heartening to see the depth of knowledge, the value-based decisions that were made in the committees, and the ongoing commitment to getting the job done for the people.
Value-based decisions? What does that even mean? Whose values and what decisions? But she's just getting started. In the next clip, the brain glitches alone are concerning.
To respond to some moderates who have said maybe they need more time to review this legislation.
Well, this has been up for, first of all, this is the bill. Basically, we had $3.5 trillion. And then we had to cut it in half, so that was drastic, and that's what was posted last week. Now we asked for public comment, and we had public comment. You act upon the comment, and that is what this would ordinarily be a situation more on the subject you ever want to know and reject it as soon as these bills are passed, because it will not be useful in your life for the future. On reconciliation, you really can't do an expansive manager's amendment. Normally, regular order, we put the bill out last week. If there are changes, manager's amendment, pass it on. Reconciliation, you have to have it embraced in the totality of another amendment, but it's really that it contains it all so that it adds up, because that's what reconciliation is about. And so when people are saying, well, this is a whole new bill, no, it isn't. But if you imagined it as a manager's amendment, it might be easier to grasp because you're just seeing the differences. And that's what members presented today. So again, no manager's amendment with reconciliation that is substantive. Therefore, you have to cloak it or couch it in a similar, this is called amendment, last week was called an amendment as well, an amendment in the nature of a substitute. Is that going to serve you well in your life?
Act upon public comments. Really? Which comments? From whom? And what does act on them even mean? I can scarcely believe this garbled nonsense is coming out of the mouth of anyone with so much power in our government, and that she apparently believes the people listening will just swallow it instead of choking on such a disjointed failure to communicate coherently. No, Nancy, the gobbledygook you just vomited into the microphone is not serving us well in our life. Unfortunately, it's about to get so much worse.
The other thing that we're getting we're sending stuff over to the Senate. Well, most of the product that we've done is, except now what we may have added in the last day or so, and some of what we added is Senate to the bill, like a hearing. Bernie doesn't like hearing. Bernie loves hearing. Manchin doesn't want hearing in the bill and all that stuff. So some is Senate-oriented, and then we have the family medical leave. We figured if they're putting things in, then we can put something in, even if Manchin doesn't like it. So So we are getting some bird and privilege. I think mostly we're getting privilege scrub, because privilege scrub is deadly to a bill. Birdable, it's important. You have to take it out, but privilege violation can take you out. So we're again getting that as we go along as well. But when we pass a bill, then they will see it in its aggregate and make some.
Any concerns that any of this is quote messaging, because that they have to take some of those things out regardless, no matter what you send over? You said you weren't going to send a messaging bill.
No, we're not sending a messaging bill, but we want to be sure that what we send is not birdable or bird bath or privilege scrub. They're the two exercises we're getting engaged, bathing exercises we're engaged in. And we're getting good response. There's no bad answer. It is what it is. There's a certain objectivity to it. It is what it is.
Product. It's legislation, Nancy. It's not a freaking product. This shows you all you need to know about the way these people who are supposed to be representing us think about the work they do. The legislation they churn out are products they then sell to us as if it's a cheap appliance or some other piece of crap that we don't actually need and will probably regret owning as soon as we get it. No returns, no refunds, so now we're stuck with an ugly piece of junk that only causes more problems than it was supposed to fix. And then we get to the part about birds and scrubs or what the hell ever. It's difficult to figure out what she's going on about with all the slurring, mumbling, and weird pauses. This isn't someone who ought to be running the country. It's someone who needs to be kept away from sharp objects and heavy machinery for her own good and the good of everyone around her. There are bad answers, Nancy, and they're the ones you just gave us. But I guess it is what it is, right? Ye gads. Thankfully, this brings us to the last clip, which ends the presser with a truly mind-boggling journey into the bizarro world of anti-reality.
Because whatever it is, this is the greatest, monumental, historic piece of legislation that any of us will ever be a part of it. And I say that with great proprietary ownership of the Affordable Care Act, which was magnificent and is. But this contains that and so much, strengthening that and so much more. So if this isn't in or that isn't that, because it's reconciliation, we can save some of that for another day when it's regular order. But most of what is in there will survive, and it will be great, and so it help the American people.
What can I even say about that? The utter gall of speaking that bullshit out loud without laughing is kind of amazing. If being supercilious was an Olympic sport, Nancy would definitely be a contender for the gold medal. Nancy talks about these crap bills as if they're the best things since the invention of the wheel, instead of just another upward transfer of wealth and a few small crumbs for the plebs to keep us quiet. It's insulting our intelligence on top of being the latest kick in the teeth for people who only want to make substantial improvements for everyone's lives. That whole presser was just wrong on so many levels. Is this really who we are now? Are these the people we're going to let tell us how to live? Because personally, I'm not okay with that. Please be excellent to each other, because it's damn sure nobody in our government is interested in being excellent to or for us.